Hello students. Yesterday we have just seen the case of wave motion and there we have discussed what is particle acceleration, what is the particle velocity, and again to remind you that the wave motion and particle motion that are different. Actually particles are executing oscillations and wave is executing a motion of different types here. So you have just have to understand the factor and the difference between the oscillation and wave here. Oscillation constitutes the wave and simple you can say that oscillations that are done by the bounded particles, but wave that is moving or that can be progressive, and that is dependent on the factor that which types of particles that are oscillating and in what way energy transfer that is taking place due to their oscillation. So simple here we are talking about the harmonic wave, and we are just taking the case of simple harmonic oscillations, and we are assuming that the particles through which wave is constituted here, that are all the particles that are executing simple harmonic motion. And we have just seen that the particle velocity in terms of the wave velocity, if the wave is moving just like that and the particles that are oscillating in the constitution of the wave, that has different velocity and wave has different velocity, and that particle velocity that is dependent on two factors. First is its displacement, obviously its distance and time, that on these two factors that is dependent on. So we have just seen all that cases. So guys, I think there is no problem while we have understood already that. The next factor that we have to study here, that is the concept of important terms connected with wave motion. So number of terms that we have used in the formula of displacement equation of the wave motion, and if you see the displacement equation, that is given by sine or cosine, whatever you can use here, vt minus x, or if you can see plus minus here. So in this way we are seeing that this is if suppose that the value of sine that is maximum, means if augment is maximum, so you know that the maximum value of sine theta that is +1. So in that case we obtain the maximum displacement. Obviously if this will have the maximum value, the maximum possible value, then obviously for that maximum possible value we will have maximum possible displacement. So for the maximum value of this we will obtain y maximum, and that will be equal to r. So this r is known as the amplitude of the wave motion. So first term that we can define here, that is amplitude of the wave motion. So from here the definition of the amplitude of wave motion is that the maximum displacement obtained in case of wave motion, that is known as its amplitude. So if suppose that a wave that is plane progressive, means that is moving with velocity, some velocity v, and here some time t, and this is displacement y. So as we are seeing that the displacement that is different at different time and at different distance, and you can see that at this point this displacement is maximum. Clear? So this is the maximum possible displacement in the wave motion, and here also in negative direction you can obtain this direction, and this will be equal to same also. So these are the maximum possible displacement, and this displacement is known as amplitude of the wave motion. So I think there is no confusion what is the amplitude of the wave motion, that is maximum possible displacement. Simple, if you have to calculate that, just put the value of sine that could be maximum in the case, and that maximum value will provide us the maximum displacement, and that will be equal to the amplitude of the wave motion. Clear? I think the second term that we can define here, that is the concept of wavelength. Wavelength. So what is the wavelength actually? As we have seen that the harmonic waves that are periodic in nature, and if you see the motion of the wave, then the motion that repeats its path after a certain interval of time and after a fixed distance, And don't think that here the displacement is also zero, but if you can see that the phase of the particles that are different at these points, means if the motion that is repeating its path again, all the particles that are oscillating here, that will have always the same phase, means they are in the same phase with each other. The concept of phase that we have already discussed, means the direction of wave that should be also same, the angle at which they are moving, they are oscillating, that should also be same. So here we can see that at this point, obviously or at this point you can see they have both the same direction, same angle, means they are in the same phase here. So these are particles, and here the motion that is identical. It means that this wave is repeating its path after certain interval of time, or after a fixed distance. So if you see this fixed distance after which it is repeating its path, then that fixed distance is known as lambda. Clear? Or you can in other word you can say that the displacement caused by the particle, or the maximum distance actually traveled by the particle to complete one oscillation or one complete rotation for any wave, that is known as its wavelength. Here we are seeing that wave is completing one rotation, one oscillation, or then and after that it started to repeat its path again, then this distance is known as lambda, that is called as wavelength of the wave. Clear? I think there is no confusion in the description of the wave here. So simple, distance traveled by the wave to complete one rotation, or you can say that, as we again later I will tell it that in the terms of time period also, but still I think the concept of wavelength that is clear. The distance traveled by the wave to complete one rotation, that is known as simple its displacement, its wavelength. And after completion of one wavelength, the particle will repeat its path again and again, and you will see after two complete rotation you will obtain two wavelength, means 2 into lambda, after that 3 lambda, 4 lambda, means the integral multiple of lambda we will obtain in the case of periodic wave or harmonic wave. Clear? The second factor, I think that is also clear to you, what is the concept of wavelength here. The third factor, that is angular wave number. Angular wave number. So what is angular wave number? This is also called propagation constant actually. So the angular wave number is defined as the 2 pi times the wave that can be accommodates per unit length. Means the waves that are that is accommodated per unit length, that is known as angular wave number or wave propagation constant. Means you can see that here the in one complete rotation there is the distance that is, or length, that is lambda. So if this is 2 means angular wave number you can define as the 2 pi times the wave accommodated, means a wave that is accommodated here per unit length, means per unit lambda. If you see that, then that is known as angular wave number or propagation constant k, and this is defined by 2 pi by lambda. Clear? So simple, this is 2 pi times wave accommodated per unit length. Clear? I think there is no confusion while defining angular wave number or propagation constant. These two terms are same, and with the help of this term we can explain the accommodation of wave, the propagation of wave, we can explain it. So that's why it is known as propagation constant also. Then the next term that we will discuss here, that is the time period. One by one I am just discussing the facts, and with the help of this equation I have just already told you how can we explain and how can we calculate these all factors that we have discussed here with definitions. So I think there is no confusion. How can we calculate it with this equation? Here this factor is amplitude, and this factor is just angular wave number, we have just talked about it. and this is the velocity of the wave. And with the help of these all factors we can explain what will be the time period, frequency, wavelength, other factors we can obtain here with the help of wavelength. Obviously with the help of this equation we can calculate wavelength of the wave. Clear? The next factor, what is the time period of the wave? So what is the time period? In the case of oscillation, if you have to define the time period, how can you define? Simple, the time taken by the particle to complete one oscillation, that is known as its time period. In the same way, the time taken by the wave to complete one rotation, that is known as its time period. After that time period, it will again repeat its path. Simple. For the periodic wave, we have just explained and discussed that particle will or wave will repeat its path again after a fixed interval of time, and that fixed interval of time is known as its time period. So in the case of wave, we denote it by the capital T. And if you can see this wave, then in this wave here the particle start or wave is started its motion from here, and after means at t equal to 0 it was here, and again particles are oscillating, and with the energy transfer a wave is obtained, and that wave is moving in this way, and after time t, capital T, again wave is started to repeat its path. So this is the, here we can see that one complete rotation that wave has done. So this is known as the time period of the wave. Simple, the time taken by the wave to complete one full rotation, that is known as its time period. So I think there is no confusion in the case of time period. How can we define it easily? And the time period you can calculate very easily with the help of, you know that time is defined by the distance per unit velocity. So here the distance that is traveled by the wave in complete one time period, that is, you can see that here one complete rotation, and the distance traveled by the wave to complete one rotation, that was equal to its wavelength. So here the distance, that is wavelength, and if this is propagating with velocity v, then with the help of this we can obtain what will be its time period clearly. Or also you can define the wavelength lambda here. Simple, the time taken by the particle to complete one rotation, if you multiply that factor by with the velocity of the wave, then that will provide you the wavelength of the wave. So we can obtain wavelength of the wave with the help of this. We can obtain time period with the help of this equation also. The next factor that we have to discuss here, that is the concept of frequency. So the fifth terms that we'll discuss here, that is frequency. So in the case of oscillation we have already discussed what is frequency. So this is the just reverse as we have defined the time period. Time period was what? It was the time taken to complete one oscillation, and frequency is in 1 second the number of oscillations made by the particle. These are known as the frequency. In the same manner here, in 1 second the number of complete rotations made by the wave, that is known as its frequency. So suppose that here we have seen that one complete rotation is made by the wave, that is it. And in 1 second suppose that 5 types of 5 complete rotations it can made. So the frequency of the wave, that will be equal to 5. Clear? Simple, frequency of wave is the number of full rotations that is made by the wave in 1 second, that is known as its frequency. And you can calculate it simply by the reciprocal of time period. Obviously the definitions are reciprocal of each other, so with the help of it we can calculate it, and the product of this will be always unity. So these 5 terms that we have discussed, I think there is no problem in all these factors, and even we can calculate all these factors with the help of this displacement wave equations easily. Means this in simple manner, I just want to tell you, we can explain and we can obtain all the information about the wave if we know its displacement equation, just like we have done the same job in case of linear motion and in case of rotational motion. There also we were trying to obtain first a displacement equation for the linear motion or for the rotational motion. After that we have just extracted a number of properties, number of quantities with the help of that, and even we have solved the properties phenomena that is possessing by the particular motion and the conservation principle. We have seen a number of things there and we have discussed all that things. In the same manner we have seen third type of motion, that was vibratory motion, and in the case of vibratory motion also we have just derived displacement equation first, either that was the case of simple harmonic motion or damped harmonic motion or forced harmonic motion, and after deriving an expression for the displacement of the wave, we can easily calculate what will be the frequency, velocity, acceleration, time period, frequency, energy. All that factors we can extract from there, means the information about the particular motion and particle we can easily know that with the help of the displacement wave equation. So that's why that is very important for us first to how to derive the displacement wave equation. And even here, as this wave motion that is constituted by the particles that are oscillating, that are doing vibratory motion, so you can say that here also we are just studying the case of vibratory motion. But in along with vibratory motion, here you can see that linear motion is also possessing by the particle. So here the complex types of wave motion or motion we are studying vibratory motion as well as linear motion, both we are studying here. So just don't be confused here guys, we are just doing the two things at once. Like in case of a rotational motion, we have seen the case of rotation as well as we have seen the case of linear motion there also. So and means translational and rotational both factors we have seen, means rolling motion we have seen. So such types of things here also. The vibratory motion means the particle that are executing or that are constituting the wave, that are oscillating in simple harmonic wave, means they are vibrating, and due to their vibration you can see that a linear motion that is taking place here. So the combination of vibratory and translational motion both we are seeing here. So I think there is no confusion while understanding the motion of the wave in the complex way or in the combined way. So there is, I think, no confusion. And still if we know the displacement wave equation, then with the help of it we can easily extract all the terms that is needed to define, that is needed to know about the wave completely. So you can understand the concept of wave, even you can extract all the properties of the wave easily with the help of this wave equation. So the next topic that we have to discuss here, that is characteristics of the wave motion. So as we have already stated so many things about the wave motion, then we can now summarize it and you can understand one by one what is the characteristics of the wave that is possessed by it. So first thing, that is the that we have studied the production of wave. So the first characteristic that you can define with the help of production of wave means simple. Wave motion is a sort of disturbance which travels through the medium. Clear? Means travel in the medium. So simple wave motion is nothing but it is disturbance that is produced due to the vibration of the particles through which it is constituting. So you can simply say that the wave motion is nothing but it is only the disturbance caused in the medium particles, and due to that energy transfer takes place, and if you see the locus of them, then this is just called the wave. Clear? So wave is just caused by the disturbances of the particles. First thing, that is clear to you. Second factor of the wave, that is for the material medium is needed for the production of the mechanical wave. We have just studied the types of wave, like we have seen there are three types of wave we have. mechanical wave, electromagnetic wave, and matter waves. So in case of mechanical wave, we always need a medium for the transfer of energy. Means there are periodic array of the particles, and that periodic array, if we will transfer energy to first particle, then it is started to vibrate, and due to vibration it collide with the other and it transfer its energy to that. And also here we are just taking the concept of that all the particles that are here vibrating, that are totally simple harmonic in nature. Means there is no loss of energy that we are taking here. Clear? So they are just vibrating simple harmonically, and due to their simple harmonic vibration, whenever they will collide with other atom, then that collision will be elastic. Obviously here we are talking about the no loss in energy. So obviously we are just talking actually about the ideal cases, and we have already discussed in the chapter of oscillation. So there, I think guys, already you have understood that concept. Then in the case of ideal motion, we are taking some types of limitations and assumptions here. We are taking also here the case of free oscillations, means no restrictions, no loss in energy we are taking place here. So that's why if particles are executing simple harmonic motion, then definitely after collision, their collision will be elastic. So it will transfer whole of its energy to the second particle, and after some time that second particle will start to vibrate. So the second characteristics of the wave motion, that is material medium that is needed for the propagation of the mechanical wave, and all that material particles that should vibrate simple harmonically. Clear? I think there is no confusion. Third is that the particles that are vibrating simple harmonically, that will have a phase difference always. Means the particle that will obviously that are executing, they has always a phase constant, and with the help of that phase constant you can understand the propagation of wave always. And after a certain period of time or fixed distance, again its phase will repeat itself. Means all the particles after a certain interval of time or fixed distance, the particles that are in the same phase, like we have just I've just taught that to you in the case of wave, or in while discussing the concept of time period or wavelength, we have just discussed it. While completing one, after completion of one rotation, particle will start again to repeat its path, and that time all particles that will follow the preceding particles for their phase and other factors. Clear? And in within one rotation, if you see, then the all particles that are oscillating, they all have the different phase. So there is a phase difference that is obtained in the case of wave motion. Third is that all the particles that are executing simple harmonic motion, they have different velocities, and we have already proved this by the mathematical way while we were calculating the particle velocity and particle acceleration. So in case of particle velocity, we have seen that that particle velocity is dependent on the factor displacement, and obviously displacement at different particle and different point at different after different distance, and means it is dependent on the factor distance and time. Then at different distance and time it is different, so that's why particle velocity is also different. Means the particle that are executing simple harmonic motion, they have different velocities. Clear? Next factor is that there is some time lag in the vibration of first and second particle. As here we are seeing that the transfer of energy takes place, then after collision it takes some time to transfer its whole of the energy to the second, and the second particle that doesn't start to at means simultaneously it not start to vibrate. After some time it starts to vibrate. So there is always some time lag in the energy transfer and in the vibration of the particle, second particle and in the first particle. So there is, I think, no confusion in that factor also. These are all the summarized actually characteristics of the wave that we are talking about. We have just discussed it one by one, and now we are talking about the summarized. I think there is no confusion, guys, in that all that we are discussing here. The next factor that is here that is in the propagation of wave motion, if you see the velocity of wave, that is always constant. The two factors are here: particle velocity that are executed by this different particles that are vibrating simple harmonically, they will have different velocity, but the wave constituted by them, they that will have always same velocity at every point, means velocity is constant, and it will only depends on the nature of the medium. It will not depend on the frequency or wavelength or intensity of the medium. Clear? On these factors it will not depend, only it will depend on the factor nature of the medium. So this is the way through which wave of the velocity of the wave that can be affected only. So this is the concept that can be asked to you, on which factor velocity of wave that is dependent, whether it is constant or not. So you have to understand that factor. Even I have just told it to a number of times, I have explained it to you, so I think there is no confusion in that. Next factor is that in the case of wave motion, we have seen that energy transfer takes place, and that energy transfers taking place, and also you can see that simple energy propagation is taking place, and due to that energy propagation a wave is constituting here. So energy is propagated along the wave in case of wave motion, but that energy is not transported to the medium. There is no transport of energy phenomena that is taking place. Means suppose particle is oscillating and energy, they are transferring the energy, and some of the energy is transported to the medium. I have discussed in the starting when we were started to discuss characteristics of the wave motion, that particles should oscillate simple harmonic. It means that they are just doing the free oscillation, and secondary fact that we have discussed, there should be perfect elastic collision, and in that case we know that all the energy that will be transferred to the second particle, so obviously there will not be any loss in energy takes place. So obviously where no loss of energy is taking place, then there will be no transport of energy to the medium. So simple, all of the energy that will be propagated with the wave in the medium, but it will not be transported to the medium. Clear? I think there is no confusion. Next factor, the medium should have some property for the production of mechanical wave, that is the property of elasticity, property of inertia, and property of minimum friction. So these properties must be a medium should have for the production of mechanical wave, for the production of longitudinal or transverse wave that we have studied. So I think the characteristics of the wave that we have discussed, that is guys clear to you. So students, today whatever we have discussed about the properties of the wave and the terms related to the wave motion, that is all clear to you. There is no confusion, and even we have studied a number of that terms in the mathematical way. We have derived the formula for that. I think all that factors we have discussed in details, so there is no confusion in that. And here I just told you that we are going to study only about the mechanical wave. Three types of wave motions we have. First is mechanical wave motion, second is electromagnetic wave motion, and third is matter waves. So case of electromagnetic wave and matter waves, that you will study in class 12th, but here we will study mechanical waves in class 7th, and in the chapter of wave we will discuss it. So first example that we will discuss for the mechanical wave, that is the sound wave. So as you know that sound, in the case of sound, we always need some material particles, some medium for its propagation. Like if I am just producing the sound, and it means that I am just using some of the energy, means I am producing some energy here, and here also my voice is just reaching to you. It means that between me and between you, or between the recording device, there are air particles in between us, and that air particles are serving as the medium particles for the propagation of sound wave here. So you can see that simple, the sound wave is the example of mechanical wave, and also it is the example of longitudinal wave. As we know that in case of longitudinal wave, particles are vibrating in the same direction as the wave is propagating. So here this is the, suppose that this is a air particle and I am producing sound, then due to production of sound means due to I'm just disturbing the air particles here, and due to that disturbance some of the energy is transferred to this particle, and this particle is started to vibrate like this, and due to its vibration it will collide with the second particle and it will transfer its whole of the energy. And in the same way the energy transfers that can be take place here. And in the real way, if you can see that if you produce sound, then it cannot propagate to the long distance. After a certain distance, our velocity our intensity of sound that lasts, means a person who is standing up very far from us, that cannot hear our voice. Reason is that here ideal conditions cannot be possible, as in case of waves motion that we have discussed, we have taken the example of simple harmonic motion, and you know that in real way these particles are oscillating in the damped harmonic way. We have already discussed in the chapter of oscillation. So in the case of damped harmonic, obviously this medium has the properties of inertia, elasticity, friction, it will has viscosity. Then due to all these properties it always oppose any types of disturbance in it, and due to that it will just try to retard the velocity or the other factors. Then due to that the external source like my voice and the sound energy that I have produced here, the some part of that energy will be used to overcome that retardation or resisting force, and due to that the intensity of sound that lasts after some distance. So reason is that in the real way, if suppose that all particles, air particles will oscillate simple harmonically, then our intensity of sound that will be constant, and wherever a person that will hear the sound in the same with the same intensity as the person that is standing here, that he listen. So but in the real way, as it is not possible, so we can only produce sound and that can propagate to the some of the distance. So later in next class we will discuss the production of sound wave, how can we produce sound wave, how sound wave propagates, what is the velocity of sound in the air and other mediums. We will discuss all these things. So for today let's end the class here. Rest of the things we will discuss in next class. Yes, thank you.